Get that right? Did I get that right, sir?
You know what? Let me tell you something, brother.
Yes, sir.
Repeat that.
Repeat the whole thing. Okay, so you got to get, you have 1 in 5 chances of getting a turnbuckle pad, which means if there's 100 boxes.
That with my signature on it.
Yeah, actually, yes, I believe one of your turnbuckle pads will be included in this week's Box of Mania.
Okay, we'll go for that.
Yes, so you have a chance to get that Brisco Brothers turnbuckle pad in Box of Mania.
But you got to act now.
But you got to act now. Spots are very limited. We are back here with VGT with a very, very special guest. Sir, it's just, honestly, I just want to say thank you first and foremost. I'm going to start off with the thanks and praise. Thank you first and foremost for all the entertaining gears of just not just the wrestling, but after you retire from in-ring competition, just everything that you and Mr. Patterson and Mr. McMahon did. Like that is part of a lot of people's memories of wrestling. You're part of the reason why a lot of people tune in every Monday and Thursday night just to see what antics you guys would get into next.
I can't tell you what kind of thrill that was, working with Mr. McMahon and most of all Pat Patterson, the genius of professional wrestling. Just being around that man and soaking in the knowledge, you know, between his finishes and Vince's promotional deal. If some of that didn't rub off on me, shame on me. You know, I was so blessed to be around such talent like that. And you know what? I'm blessed to be here with you. You're a selling son of a gun.
That's the nicest thing anyone has said to me today. And this morning, the lady at breakfast said, "Oh, you're back again." That was literally the nicest thing.
It's because of the tip you left yesterday.
It's true. I'm a very, very bad tipper. By the way, I just want to say, your sideburns are incredible. Like this whole hair thing you got going on. I'm a big hair guy, man. And you were like, this look is like, it's on fleek, man.
I gotta have it down here because I don't have it up here. You know, it's just left. During the pandemic, you know, we all do strange things. I drew those damn Wolverine chops out. Everybody in the world said keep them except my wife. Who did I listen to? My wife.
Of course.
I've been married for over 40 years, so you listen to your wife.
Wait, you've really been married for 40 years?
Yeah, it's the same woman.
So that's something you don't really hear too much in this industry is someone like coming in, hitting the levels of success you've accomplished and still sticking with the same woman. So I guess for the fans at home, what's the secret to just a happy marriage, I guess? What's the secret?
Finding a woman that'll stick with you. It wasn't me sticking with a woman. It was a woman that would stick with me. And I found me a little North Carolina, Charlotte, Monroe, North Carolina, a woman that knew the values of a family. And I'm blessed to have her still as my wife, you know, and helped me raise 2 magnificent young men. One of them's in the wrestling profession now. I believe you guys had him.
Yes, sir.
On the show not long ago, Wes Brisco.
Yes, sir. He has been a guest.
Other son's an architect, doing great, you know. So
those aren't even like the same sport. Like those aren't even like two of even closer. One is a professional athlete, and the other one designs buildings for like that is incredible.
Well, one takes after me, the obvious one, and one takes after my wife. You know.
So I'm guessing Wes is the architect. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
He would do what she was.
Well, we're going to start off. We have 2 auction items here tonight. Now, this first one seems to be an old school pamphlet from here in Tampa. From what year is this?
I don't know, but I've been admiring this since I walked in the building there. It's got my brother and I on the cover here, the Grapevine. It doesn't have a date on here. Maybe if we open it up.
It says volume number 4.
Cow, I'm working with Ric Flair.
Woo! Woo! I knew there was a reason why we had that Ric Flair promo tonight for $100 on the show. I knew there was a reason.
$100. Ric Flair's worth $100. Hell, I thought Ric Flair's worth $200. It would be to me. And this program, man, if somebody don't make a deal on this thing, that's going to walk out of here with me.
And once again, the bidding has already started.
Let me tell you some of the classic things you got in this thing. It's got Jack and Jerry Brisco acquire 3 belts. 3 belts, mind you. Not 1, not 2, but 3.
That's why they called them Trace Briscos.
Trey, for all you Spanish people out there. Plus, this has got an ad of a Holiday Bar. You know who owned the Holiday Bar? That's John Wolfman Smith. Got an ad on there, and here's a custom photo of Jack and Jerry Brisco, my late brother, who were holding up the tag team championship. And then there's Wild Bill Alfonso,
who was just our guest last night on One of One, which you can tune into every Wednesday night at 6 o'clock.
It says editorial, but I know Wild Bill didn't write no editorial. He couldn't even get out of the first grade. But I'm sorry, Bill, but you can count to 3 really good. And you always rush that count to 10 when I was outside. I want to lay that on you. You always, especially if that Joe LeDuc was staring at you, you rush that count as fast as you can.
I thought Fonzie called it right down the middle, Daddy.
Oh, right down the middle, whoever was on his side. And there's the Ox, the Fox, Baker, Oxy Foxy from Waterloo, Iowa. Great place and a great man.
And a strong mustache, if I don't say so myself.
He had the all-time wrestler mustache. Tell me if I'm wrong, bro.
No, he definitely did, 110%. I believe if you keep turning the page,
Don't rush me now.
I am tragically sorry, sir. My apologies.
I thought I'd come on as a guest. Don't you know guests have their... And look at this, man. Here's James J. Dillon, who I had the honor of speaking to yesterday. And there's Don Jardine, the spoiler. And you know who this big blonde? No, that's not Dusty Rhodes. No, that's not Ric Flair. That's Bobby the Hangman Jaggers. And how often do you get a program with the Don Jardine, the spoiler, James J. Dillon, and the Hangman Bobby Jaggers? And right here is a little ad when Buddy Coke. Now, I'm taking over here. You know that. I'll not be auditioning for your job. You never know that.
I mean, I'll give you the job.
No,
I will gladly, if I get to hang out with you every week, I'll gladly give up this gig.
Who said you're going to hang out with me every week?
Wait, I'd have to leave if you took my job?
Oh, by the way, here's Buddy Coach and Big Gloria's advice here. You had to, that's like Dear Abby. And all you people that are familiar with championship wrestling from Florida know Big Gloria's advice. She would give the fans the vehicle to ride in to voice their complaints, or if they had to hide for somebody like hanging with Bobby Jaggers. I can't imagine anybody, but Big Gloria did. So
was Big Gloria actually big?
No, Big Gloria was beautiful. No, why you have to go there?
Well, no, I was. Her name's Big Gloria. Like when you see somebody like named like Little Tony, it's normally like a big guy. So Big Gloria, I assume she would either be very big or very small.
And here's the assassin reacts to Dusty Rhodes. And not only does the assassin react to Dusty Rhodes, here's a picture of Dusty Rhodes. You know who he's standing with there?
That looks to be Bugsy McGraw, if I remember correctly.
What a mind you have on you. And you're quick, too.
I try sometimes.
I see why you're in front of the camera instead of behind it here now. You're gaining on me. And then this week in the news, man, there's all kinds of things in the news here.
But I think this is my favorite part of the whole magazine right here.
And you know, I wouldn't be in sexist back then, but there's an ad for Brisco Brothers Body Shop there. Imagine that. I mean, I had an ad that's back in the 1970s for Brisco Brothers Body Shop because you wanted your body to look like that. You bring your car to us, and Jack and I didn't touch the hammers or the saws or the banging or the painting. We left those to the professionals. And we took care of the ladies that came in there. And if you'll notice that ad, it's from some lucky person who can win a paint job at Brisco Brothers Body Shop, and it was worth the drive. And there's a mean old assassin right there next to it that says notice there. Help me out here, brother.
I was letting you just explain everything that was going on with this. I was going to put it on the close-up cam so the fans at home can see it. If you don't mind, I'll
you're the
this from you.
professional in this thing here. I just come out here to bring a little class to the show.
But yeah, if you take a look on the screen right now, you can see this incredible piece. This was brought to us by Bill Alfonso, who already signed it. And if I remember correctly, Mr. Brisco will sign it to you as well if you win this piece tonight. Dean, Michael, or Josh, or Seth, do we have any bids for this great pamphlet that we have right now?
We had Scott Caldwell start us off, then Joel and Kylo came in, Andy Cook came in, Adam and coffee came in, but Scott Caldwell sits on top right now at $45.
All right, 45 right now for this incredible piece. I'm going to flip through some of the pages just a little
What,
bit.
I didn't do a good enough job
Well,
explaining it?
well,
You got to go and correct my work now?
Well, it's because they can see it super duper close up. They can
man,
only
what
just
kind
see
of
it from
show am I
afar.
on? What kind of show am I on there?
Well, I was just going to ask you, though, you are very social media proficient. By the way, you can see this is where Alfonso signed it right there. You are very social media proficient. As a matter of fact, over the past few months on your Instagram feed, you have had a big announcement coming, and then you finally made the announcement about a month ago. Can you please tell the fans some of the horrible things that happened to you while you were trying to make this announcement?
All I'm trying to do is inform the fans of what I got coming on in my life. You know, I'm reaching a stage in my life where I'm changing careers. I'm changing a lot of things in my life, and I'm trying to get a big announcement. I live out here in the country, you know, out there. I mean, I'm out in the jungle. Most people come there afraid to come down my driveway because there's alligators, there's rattlesnakes, there's all kinds of critters in my backyard there. But I had a viper come in my house twice, breaking my damn house, the viper, and damn RKO my old man about there. I can't believe it. I've known his daddy, I knew his grandpa, I know his mommy, I know his aunt, I know his uncle.
Did you tell him that? Were you like, I'm going to tell your
I
daddy
didn't
about
have a
it?
chance. He attacked those vipers. Don't give you no chance to talk.
That
I
is-
mean, they hit you right out of the air, midair, you know. And twice and then I'd go down to the Side Splitter Comedy Club here in Tampa to enjoy a Mick Foley show. And little do I know, Mick Foley followed me home when I was making a big announcement. He sent Mr. Sacco in on me. I wouldn't do but he sent Mr. Sacco, put that old filthy, nasty thing down my throat, and I was laid back. I mean, I've had a horrible time. Somebody stole my cellular phone.
I saw that. You had a brand new iPhone 12. An iPhone 12.
Rick Allen sent it to me.
And somebody just stole it. Stole it
yeah.
straight from you. They were recording the video for you, and the dude just ran off.
I know. That's horrible. I mean, why picking on me?
It's because you're such a nice person.
I guess I am.
You're such a nice person. They thought they could take advantage of you, but no, they could not. And then you made your big announcement, which is probably the biggest announcement of all time. You have to go to his Instagram feed to find out what that big announcement was. If you don't mind, what's the handle for your Instagram?
The FG Brisco.
The FG Brisco. Go ahead and check it out. He made a massive announcement on
There's a
there.
couple other Briscoes out there, but I'm the FG Brisco.
The one and only FG
And you can find me
Brisco.
on Twitter at FG Brisco. Find me on Facebook and find me on. You know what? You never stop learning. At my age, I'm pushing 75 years old. If you
Don't look a
can't
day
tell.
over 60.
I appreciate that. I hope Uncle Sam don't hear that, but it might take my Social Security away. But you know, you always learn stuff. So this social media stuff come out, and I'm having a difficult time with this stuff. But you know, I'm learning. It takes me a while. Good old JBL has helped me out. Taylor Williamson, the #2 funniest guy in America, he's helped me out a lot. I've had a lot of people call me and, well, if you do this, and I try to do this, I'm even Zooming now.
No, you're like, do you have like a full like Cameo thing where you do a Zoom?
Do I have Cameo? Hook me up on Cameo. You'll never regret it. I'll call your mama. I'll call your grandma. I might know your grandma because I was around the place and everything, you know. So give me a buzz on Cameo, and if you want to excite grandma or mama, I'll do that for you.
Wait, so I'm gonna get a Cameo from you, and I'm gonna have you Cameo my Nana, and then when you realize you know her, I'm gonna be like, Nana, you got some splaining to do.
I'm looking at your eyes.
You don't see the resemblance, y'all. I could be a Brisco, y'all.
You could be.
Just it's right here in the face.
The Rolling Stone, baby.
Brisco was a Rolling Stone.
Oh, yeah.
Wherever he laid his hat was his home.
His home.
Do we have anybody doing any more bidding on this great? I got distracted by singing "Brisco was a Rolling Stone" on this great piece that will be signed by Mr. Brisco in a little while.
So right now, Scott Caldwell still has it. Let's put it on 60 seconds.
All right, we are going to put it on a 60-second countdown. While we have this countdown going, I have to ask you a quick question. Who is Mario Galantino?
Galento.
Or Galento. I'm sorry, I'm very bad
I
with
don't know
pronouncing
Mario
names.
Galantino. I think he made a wine, you know, and it was mighty fine wine too, by the way. But Mario Galento was an old timer when I started in the business from Tennessee. And he was one of these guys that you didn't want to cross. Some of those old timers back in the '60s, when I started the business, we were just transforming out of the 50 talent into the college boy era, like the Funks and the Briscoes and stuff like that. Well, some of these old timers like Mario, they didn't take too kindly to us young punks coming into the business and everything. They try to get a little rough with you every once in a while, and I was an old college boy shooter, and so I knew how to take care of myself. But man, I was glad he never challenged me, because that guy, he'd fight a damn freight train if he had to. There were some tough guys back in those. Mario was one of the toughest.
Who are some other tough guys that some of the younger fans at home could probably check out by looking them up on YouTube?
There was old Danny Pletches out of Texas. He was a badass guy. Bronco Lubitsch, Rip Hawk, Swede Hansen out of the Carolinas. Okay, I want to tell you something. Brute Bernard and Skull Murphy out of the Carolinas, Mid-Atlantic Wrestling. Man, they were the guys, the assassins, Jody Hamilton and Tom Burnett. But Brute Bernard and Skull Murphy are probably the only two guys that ever scared me before I started working. But the guys that hooked me when I was a kid watching wrestling, there was a little tumbleweed out in Oklahoma. Terry Funky said my only friend was a tumbleweed, because I lived somewhere out in the country. But we'd see the assassins, and those assassins, they'd sit there, and Jody would talk to you like this. Daddy Hodge, when you get in that ring in Southgate Coliseum, I don't care if you got your daddy with a switchblade knife. I don't care if you got your mama with a spatula. I don't care what you got. I'm gonna rip you from limb to limb. As a kid watching that TV screen, I was scared to death, man.
I'm a grown man, and I'm terrified that you just said that right now.
Yeah.
I am terrified
But
right
those
now.
are just some of the guys I grew up with, out in Oklahoma. When the wind blew just right, I could get Dallas wrestling too. Dallas wrestling from the world famous Sportatorium. And so that was what I had. We had to hope the wind was blowing right. But it was always late Saturday night, and you'd have to sneak out to make sure Mama didn't know you were going over the neighbors to watch wrestling. Little did she know that I would sneak off and be a wrestler,
That is absolutely incredible. Well, we got about 10 seconds left on this great piece. We're going to count them down. We're going to start off with 10, 9, 8, 7.
Okay, we're down to 5.
Okay, now we're 5, 4, 3, 2, and now we just got to wait for the lag to catch up. I'm going to wave my arms in the air so that the people at home can know that the countdown has ended. Congratulations to who's our winner tonight on this one?
Declare Scott Caldwell, $45.
Scott Caldwell, $45. That's an incredible pickup for you, Scott. Now, this next auction item has been signed by a couple of people so far. I'm going to let you tell us about this championship in a moment. It's been already signed by Ricky the Dragon Steamboat and the Iron Sheik. If you don't mind, please, sir, tell us about this championship.
Mid-Atlantic champion. There were two guys in the history of Mid-Atlantic wrestling to hold both the Eastern United States Championship and the Mid-Atlantic Championship, and the last name just happened to be the same thing, Brisco. So how this belt, this was originally the Eastern Heavyweight Championship of the belt, Jim Crockett Promotions, and then they when they got big and started growing, and the Briscoes started drawing those Crockett's all kinds of money, and they started getting rich. Well, let's invest in a new championship. So they wanted to invest in a new championship, and they wanted something that stood out a little bit more. So that's how the name Mid-Atlantic come along, because they were right in the middle of the United States of the Atlantic Ocean. That big piece of water we got out here. Part of it's the south.
The thing that the
Georgia.
ACC is named after?
Yeah, exactly. They got that too. They copied that off of there. So anyway, I did copyright infringement. But this is a replica of the Mid-Atlantic Championship. But what are you laughing at me for? Am I goofy? Am I that goofy or what? It's got South Kakalaka, you know, that's a palmetto palm. That's a palmetto palm over a crescent moon there, or the crescent moon's over the palmetto palm.
Are you a big fan of pimento cheese? The South Carolina specialty?
I don't eat cheese. Don't mention cheese to me. That brings up fighting word. I mean, I don't want no cheeseburger. I want a hamburger when I go. And people give you order a hamburger, they give you a damn cheeseburger. I don't want no cheese on my hamburger. I want a hamburger.
If you want a cheeseburger, you order a cheeseburger.
I ordered a cheeseburger. It's easy, you know. What's that so different? But anyway, you're getting me off the subject here. We gotta hawk this belt here. This is a Mid-Atlantic championship belt, and we're gonna make sure somebody's happy with this. And I'm gonna put my signature on here too because I was a champion. And got Steamboat on there. He was a damn good champion. Our Sheiky baby. I hope you're well out there, brother. I love you. Thank you. Much regards. And I got a good place for me to put my signature on this piece of history also there. So
well, come
on, let's open it up.
We've got a spot reserved for you.
Tag, I'm giving you the tag.
I got the hot tag, guys. All right.
Wrap it up.
Now, do we have any opening bids on this championship belt?
All right, we had a couple people, Andy Cook, Edward Solaris, Adam Coffey, Andy Cook going back and forth with Adam. Right now, we sit on top. Andy Cook, $200.
$200 for this great replica championship belt. Now, you are a massively bit. Seth, what are you saying? Just say it out loud.
Show the back, dude. The signature.
We'll show the back. Here we go. Here is the back of the title with the signatures of the Iron Sheik and Ricky Steamboat. Sergeant Slaughter is watching at home, and he says, "Good luck to your sister in the Tampa Marathon this weekend." Is this? Am I being trolled right now?
Am I on camera?
Yeah, 110%.
Sergeant Slaughter, Bob Remus, beautiful Bob. I've known you since you were a little. I've known you since you were not even a private. What are you when you first come in? You were a maggot. That's what you were. I knew Sergeant Slaughter had a maggot. Now you're sending me messages electronically. I can't believe you come that far, for that matter. You know, if you know how to do that stuff. You're impressive, but Sergeant Slaughter, ask me how my sister did it. That's an old rib. They used to have newcomers come in, you know, and this is a rib that goes way back. And you know, me, I had some type of rib. But Sarge would send a new guy over. Hey, Brisco's really proud of his sister that she was in a marathon. And my deal was, my sister was in a wheelchair.
Oh, no!
That rookie would go, his face would just drop to the floor. Oh, no, I've screwed up now.
No.
And go back to Sarge, and Sarge would see his face, and Sarge was good. Sarge would never break kayfabe on it until the very end of it there. So that's how we used to rib these rookies that come in. They can't do that anymore because you got to be PC. And I hope we don't get kicked off of this social media forum for me saying that. But it's Sergeant Slaughter's fault if we do. But
we will blame you, Sarge. We got another question. Who's the bigger beast, Alexander Carolyn or Brock Lesnar?
Oh, man, Alexander Carolyn. Oh, man. You can't beat four-time Olympic champion. I'm sorry, Brock. I love you, and I recruited you, and your coach and I were in college together, but Alexander Carolyn from Russia, man, a four-time Olympic champion, five-time finalist. Holy cow. It's like this shirt, Milo. You know who Milo?
I was actually going to ask you about your shirt.
He was the first Olympic hero. He was the Olympic champion. I can't read upside down.
It looks 540 BC, 536.
That's about the time I was born. He was my hero growing up. That's the reason I started wrestling. But the way he used to train, he'd put a big old damn cowl over his shoulder. See that cowl on his shoulder? And he would run to practice with that cowl on his shoulder. And then after he practiced and beat half the world, he'd put that damn cowl back on his shoulder now and run back. And we're not talking about flat land like this table. We're talking about in Greece, you know, where those mountains are. So he was the father of resistant training.
Did he later marry the cow? Because it was a different time back then.
Now, howdy, Kubo. Why do you talk about Milo like that? You
I was asking.
He got cousins that live right down the road. If they're listening, you're in trouble because they train the same damn way. They'll come looking for you.
Oh, please do not tell them. I hope they are not watching. I hope they are watching after I leave the state of Florida.
Hey, everybody, we're at the Hilton across the street from Madison Square Garden. Come over after to buy drinks for everybody. My pal here.
Woo! This is seriously the best interview we've ever done. Honestly, I'm a massive fan of yours. You have, like, all jokes aside, you were such a big part of my childhood, man. Like, everything you guys did was just like...
Even after tonight?
Even after tonight. Tonight, I'm an even bigger fan. Now I'm like the biggest fan. But do we have a big enough fan that has started spending a little bit more on this championship belt? Josh, what are the bids at?
It's been running back and forth. The Dean Archer jumped in. Newcomer John Price jumped in. But Andy Cook is topping all right now at 275.
We're going to put
30
this...
seconds. Come on, guys. Let's get this up to 3. Come on now.
We're going to put this on 30 seconds.
The thing that this replica, the real thing has been around all the waist. Can you imagine? Wahoo McDaniels, Ric Flair, Don Jardine, Johnny Weaver, Jack Briscoe, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, Paul, Mr. Wonderful Jones. I mean, all those guys.
The Iron Sheik.
The Iron Sheik has signatures on the damn thing. So, yeah, Iron Sheik on it. And, man, oh, man, just the history behind this and the people that have worn that and represented this belt, it's worth, come on, get that bid up there. We're counting on you to get that bid up there. Daddy needs a new pair of jeans. I don't even have jeans, though. I got shorts on. See? I'm not going to show you my tan line, though.
Well, you have traveled all across this great globe of ours, and I'm a big husky boy. I got a little bit of a gut going. So tell me, where's the best place on the planet to get a steak? That's not your own personal kitchen, somewhere that the fans at home can go to get a steak.
Well, I tell you, and I was very fortunate when I was working with WWE because Mr. McMahon, I traveled with Mr. McMahon all the time, and he's not going to stop in at the Western Sizzler to get his steak.
He doesn't like Waffle House steaks?
He's not going to know Waffle House. Yeah, woo. All right, you didn't mention that, Coach him. All right, don't even get me in the same zip code as a Waffle House. And he grew up in the Carolinas, too, as everybody knows, but I used to be fortunate. There was a steakhouse in Chicago, Morton Steakhouse. It's a chain that's everywhere. Brother, they got the best damn steaks in the world. And you know what? At Brother Love, Bruce Pritchard and I, we used to make Ben so upset because you have they got a dessert for $2. It's a chocolate cake filled with chocolate. Covered with chocolate.
Like a molten chocolate cake almost.
Yeah, that's the name of molten chocolate. Very good. I can tell you've been to Morton's and you've enjoyed a molten chocolate. But anyway, you got to order it beforehand. And, you know, Bruce and I started in on the wine and everything. Vince, toasting, good show, blah, blah, blah. You guys suck. Well, I had to go good. Yeah, thank you. Now can we have some more wine? But we'd order that molten chocolate cake. He would get finished. He was a guy, when he finished, he wanted to go. No, you got to wait until all of us finished. Polite. He was a polite North Carolina guy, and he would wait. Me and Bruce would get that, and he would just sit there, because he's a health nut, Mr. McMahon. Me and Bruce would get that thing about the size of this table. We'd start splitting and start drinking, and he'd just sit there and shake his damn head at us. But as far as steaks go, that you can't beat those steaks there.
Gotcha. Well, do we have any increase in the bids?
We did. We had John Price, I think, throwing his last offer than Andy Cook at 285. So go ahead and give me a 10 count for 285 Andy Cook.
All right, we're going to start this on a 10-second countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Wait, hang on. Is it true that you invented the 5-second pose that Edge and Christian did?
It was ours was a 10-second smile, and my brother and I, because all those people in North Carolina, they got hot when we started picking on Ricky Steamboat and old Young Boat. We started beating their little asses up all the time. So they wouldn't let me talk. I can't imagine that. So I gave them what they wanted. They wanted 10 seconds or 5 seconds. I was 10 seconds, but let's give them 5 seconds. You and I are smiling pretty for. Count them down.
Oh, 5,
there you go.
4,
Man, you're slow.
3, 2, 1.
There you go.
5 seconds is over. What's the name of the winner of this?
Andy Cook at 285.
Andy Cook at 285. Now, Mr. Brisco, before I let you go for the evening, are there any charities or anything that's really important or dear to your heart that the fans out there, if they want to make any type of like donation or anything like that, or want to look up that are close to your heart?
Thank you. Very close to my heart. The National Wrestling Hall of Fame out of Stillwater, the amateurs and Sergeant Slaughter sent a message to me. He's gonna, the late great Don Cornudo, who was Mid-Atlantic World Heavyweight Tag Team Champion along with Sergeant Slaughter. The man finally got named to our Hall of Fame in Waterloo, Iowa, the Dan Gable Hall of Fame. You recognize that Dan Gable name, one of the greatest American. He got the Medal of Freedom from then President Trump, and Trump asked Dan Gable if he thought he could beat him, and Mr. Coach Gable turned to the former president and said, "Sir, you wouldn't stand a chance," and he wouldn't. But anyway, Sergeant Slaughter will be there, and Don Cornudo is going into our Hall of Fame, and Sergeant is going to be there along with Wally Cornudo to accept the Hall of Fame for us. So that's July 15th through 18th, Waterloo, Iowa, at the world famous Dan Gable Hall of Fame, sponsored by the National Wrestling Hall of Fame out of Stillwater, Oklahoma, my hometown. But if you can't make it in person, please make a donation to George Tragus Professional Wrestling Hall of Fame wing at the Dan Gable Museum. And it's near and dear to my heart, and I thank every one of you just for thinking of it or looking it up on the internet.
Oh, that is incredible. We have come to the end of the show. Sir, I'm a hugger, so is it cool if I give you a hug since we're on
I'm
air?
a hugger from way back.
Oh, this is incredible. I'm the guru, Tommy Thomas, here with Mr. Brisco himself. Thank you guys for tuning in to VGT. We'll see you next week with the franchise, Shane Douglas.
Let's leave 5 seconds.